What's going on, guys? Welcome. What's going on, TJ? AVK, what's going on? Eller, what's going on, brother? Die, my boy Die. How are you guys doing today? Welcome. Just going to give everybody a few more seconds to scroll in. Soul, what's going on? I got some things today. Been investigating that big drop today for Bitcoin. We're going to check that out. A couple things. I'm sure maybe, I don't know if anybody else has been covering, but I was ran across, saw some things of what I think is going on with Bitcoin right now and why the price is being held back these last few weeks, but particularly these last few days where we've been seeing these flash crashes. So, oh, ABK, sorry, dude. I always forget it's late for you, dude. Sorry about that, brother. Well, let me jump in. ABK's got to go. So, guys, just jumping in real quick. Make sure you guys hit that like. Let's start this off. So, first things first, our beloved Milady, sitting at around 66 today. Really kind of sitting exactly where we were at yesterday, right? But if you guys noticed today, we saw another flash crash, right? What the hell is going on with the market? Well, I kind of was digging up some things, and we're going to go over this. I'm going to go over it quick because I know AVK's got to go. What's up, Light? Mark, what's going on, guys? How are you guys doing today? So real quick, let me get this hideous arrow out of the way. So we all saw today, it wasn't a crazy flash crash, right? But if you really looked at it, this thing dramatically dropped real fast, and then it really quickly picked itself back up. And a couple of things I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what is going on with Bitcoin, right? What is going on with Bitcoin? These flash crashes, when you see these crashes right here, this is usually, obviously, it's a big sale. Something sold a massive amount and one probably sitting, and then you have other people that kind of will jump on the bandwagon thinking that we're about to go back down or go to zero, so it'll kind of be a cascade event. But a lot of times, luckily for us, recently it's been very short-lived, right? Well, a couple things that I was able to pull up today, believe it or not, in Yahoo Finance. So Grayscale moves another 9,000 Bitcoin to exchange in preparation for sale. So Grayscale, and we'll go through it real quick. The article basically is stating that according to this data intelligence, the coins moved in batches of 1,000 just after 14:30. That's UTC. When the U.S. market opened following the 3-day weekend. That was today, right? Today. They moved 9,000 Bitcoin today, right before 9:30 a.m. when the stock market opened up, right? And basically they hit a mass sale. And what they're doing is pretty much, from what I read, is and I'll read word for word. Following the U.S. regulatory approval for the spot ETF last week, Grayscale's GBTC has sent net outflows as investors sold for any numbers of reason. The elimination of the discounts to net assets valued and lower fees at competing ETFs among them, right? The outflows resulted in Grayscale selling 2,000 Bitcoin last week, right? There was a flash crash last week. 2,000 at one sale. A number that for now has risen to 11,000. And basically, what they're doing is they're selling their actual Bitcoin for the ETFs. So I don't understand why they won't. They obviously, if you can see right here, they're holding on to over 600,000 BTCs, right? Bitcoins. They still have a dramatic amount of Bitcoin in their bag, right? But they have been selling since last week. They've sold over 11,000 Bitcoin, and basically in 2 transactions. And this is all because they've been basically doing it because of the ETFs. I don't know exactly the reason why, and I'm sure it probably will tell us the exact reason why. But I'm sure it's having something to do with they're selling it because they're accumulating ETFs so they can sell to their investors, right? But what blows my mind is you would think that they would still want to hold on to the actual Bitcoin, right? But just reading this, it pretty much sums up what is going on with Bitcoin right now in this last week particularly where we've been really being held down. And right now, word's out that Grayscale sold 11,000. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some other investors, the big ETF investors, that are possibly doing something similar for their clients. And that's why we've been seeing just this. Basically, you think of Bitcoin and there's like anchors holding it down right now. It wants to pop, right? We should be up towards 50,000, but something's holding us down. And I was telling you guys, I went on a rant, like 2 days ago, I think, or maybe yesterday, was basically just saying that this ETF short term was going to be not the best thing for the crypto market. And this right here just pretty much sums it all up on why the ETF particularly is not a good thing for short term. I think long term, we're going to get past all this, and I think long term, we're going to be good. But for right now, when you have 9,000 Bitcoin just entering the market on one sale, you're going to have, you're going to see what we had for today. Now, real quick, Milady's price was at 6666. I was like, sell. Just kidding. Now, one thing, obviously, we are intertwined right now with Bitcoin, right? We're intertwined with Bitcoin. Most of the market is. We saw this flash crash. We were actually up doing really well this morning, right? And then the market opened up and you saw this big dump, right? You saw this big dump. And I say big dump, it looks like it's big. It really wasn't massive, honestly. It was about an 8% dump. And I didn't catch this bottom. I was kind of waiting to see, if we were going to maybe, because remember I've been telling you guys, I'm looking for anything that's kind of down here at like the lower sixes. Well, we did drop down towards the 6.2, and I was like, it was getting there to where I was getting ready to set up to start doing some buys, but it was so quickly lived that we dropped down this 8% and we immediately just bounced right back and recovered. And that just tells me, not only for Milady, but Bitcoin did the same thing, that I'm telling you guys, once we get past this ETF stuff, we get past all this stuff that's going on right now with Bitcoin being held down, and I'm saying it's going to happen soon, we're going to see some big movements here in the market. We're going to get right back on track like nothing happened, and mark my words, Bitcoin's going to be getting up there to $50,000 plus, hopefully really soon. So I hope you guys are ready, because things like that, when you see an article where 11,000 Bitcoin have been sold in less than a week, particularly today, 9,000 Bitcoin, that's just one sale of one freaking big investor that we know of, right? 9,000 Bitcoin were sold, and I mean, the price easily rebounded and actually jumped up higher than it was before they actually made the sale. Because you can see market opened up, it was like around this time, we actually were only around 43. We were pretty much around the same price, so a little bit higher now, but we rebounded just as fast, and we actually did go up a little bit. So the point of the story is that I really do believe that once we get past this whole ETF stuff, like I've been saying for the last few days, since we've kind of been dealing with the negativity of the ETF now, we're really going to start this rally. And the fact that Milady particularly has been looking so strong, she really has. She's been looking great. Any of these dips have been so short-lived, and you can see it's just a quick bounce, and we get right back to where we're at. We're almost pretty much, you can say we're in this consolidation mode right now, just consolidating, ready for this next move towards the upside, for sure. Now, real quick, just checking up on the chat. Justin, what's going on? When big money gets involved, us little guys get wrecked. And that, dude, you said it correctly, right? A week ago, 2 weeks ago, we're all like, this ETF, oh, it's going to be great. And I don't think that even myself was really thinking about the repercussions of just the big Wall Street investors getting involved now heavily into Bitcoin. They already were. I mean, BlackRock is one of the biggest. They're one of the top 15 holders of Bitcoin across the world, right? But actually holding on to Bitcoin. When you start talking about ETFs, now you're opening up that whole floodgate of actual Wall Street, the Wall Street people, right? And we all know how Wall Street is. They play dirty. The little guy gets screwed usually in Wall Street, right? There's not too many stories where the little guy stuck it to him. That's why when AMC, you guys know AMC, obviously, when AMC came out and they were able to kind of form this coalition and go against the big guys, right? They wrecked them, and it was such a big deal because it was like we finally got a win against all these Wall Street people that all talk to each other. They all work together. All of them. These ETF, everybody that got their ETFs approved, most likely they're all in sync with each other as far as what these sales are doing and what they're doing as far as accumulating these ETFs now and possibly selling off portions of their positions on actual Bitcoin. So, but at the end of the day, they don't want Bitcoin to crash, right? They don't want Bitcoin to crash. So that's why I know for a fact once we get past this kind of a sell pressure that we're in right now for these big guys, this market's going to continue to start moving up, and we're probably going to see an epic bounce, probably up towards $50,000. Because we're still technically for Milady in this bull flag, right? We've kind of broke out of the channel of this descending channel, but technically, this ain't a breakout, right? We just kind of broke out of the top of the channel, but I wouldn't be surprised if this thing plays out and we see a massive move up, and pretty much almost the same thing for Bitcoin. We did break out of this. You could see we did break out, made this 49, but Bitcoin looks a little different, right? Bitcoin looks a little different because this Bitcoin, unfortunately, is the one that's getting weighted down from all the sell pressure for right now. So Troy said, damn it, he's late again. Bro, you are good. I'm glad that you're here, bro. Goober, 50 billion gain. Nice. And let's see here. AVK was saying you have a exit plan for Miladies. What point do you take profits? You know what? That's something that I've been talking about. AVK, when we were on our initial move up, right? When we were initially moving up, like about 5 or 6 weeks ago, that was one thing I wanted to bring up because no one wants to really talk about that, right? Everybody wants to get into this euphoria of, the big pump, and everybody's talking about, what they're going to be buying and stuff like that, and, all that good stuff, which is fun and it's great. But when is it time to take profits, right? What is your exit plan? What is your goals to get out of this particular project? And I've told you guys, I'm not just telling you. I'm going to be living by what I say. And I truly believe that Milady, conservatively, will possibly get up to $2 to $8 billion. So, with that being said, that would be around the time where I'm looking really to possibly start taking profits, right? Now, let's say this, AVK. Let's say next week we see a freaking 300% gigapump, right? And we eat up this zero, and now we're at like all-time highs. We're all the way up here, right? But it's this fast gigapump. Then I probably would be looking to reposition myself, right? I would probably be looking to reposition myself because we all know for any projects, 99% of the time, if we see some crazy gigapump where it's pumped within maybe a day and it's 100, 200, 300%, it's going to come right back down to reality here soon, usually just as fast. So if something like that was to happen, I'd probably do a quick, off the wall, sell my position with the anticipation that I'm going to reposition myself. But remember the risk of doing that. You guys remember what I did with ICP. Something like that happened with ICP recently where we just shot up. We're moving. I was up like massive on my my position for ICP, and I took the risk and I sold at around $10. Well, you guys see how it played out. ICP actually went up to around $16, and now even when it retraced, it's still holding at around $12, $13, right? So that's the risk that we take when hitting that sell button. So, in that situation with the gigapump, I'd have to really I'm gonna have to be in the moment, right, and figure out what I'm gonna do. Maybe I sell half my position or something like that, with taking the risk on. Because at the end of the day, I know, and we all know, in this next bull run, Milady is gonna be it's gonna be massive compared to where it's at right now. Even if we only get up to $2 billion, understand that that's a 20x from where we're at right now. That's 20 times where we're at right now, right? I don't know what you guys are exactly holding, but I have a nice bag of Milady, and if it goes 20x, that's a solid, position that I would be cashing out on, right? And I don't want to give that up, right? I don't want to give that up. So as far as an exit plan, you got to really look and understand what there could be different scenarios. But at the end of the day, my game plan won't change, and it's long term. It's long term patience. That's where I'm sticking as far as with Milady for right now, right? Good question though. Good question. Now let's see here. CM said he smells like money in here, guys. That's everybody in here with these big 50 billion, 80 billion Milady. I see you, light. What's going on, bro? Troy was saying, I told you I felt lucky it was going to break out today, right? You know what? You did call it. I was anticipating, I was like sitting here waiting all day today. I was like, he said it's going to break out, so I'm just going to wait. And I was expecting like a 60, 70% breakout. We did see a nice little move, right? But it wasn't that 60% breakout. But you know what? If you did catch at the beginning, it had nothing to do with Milady. It had everything to do with these large sales in the market right now. Right now Bitcoin is just being held down. Imagine someone that Bitcoin's in the water right now. This big strong guy in the water, and the surface is right there. The surface being like 50, 100K, and he's got all this weight on him right now, just holding him down. He's going to get up there, but it's just everything is holding him down right now. But they can't hold it down forever. And I don't think they want to, honestly. I don't think that they really want to hold Bitcoin down much longer. And they definitely don't want to see any kind of price action where Bitcoin goes crashing down, in my opinion. They want to see, because they as Bitcoin starts moving, especially if we start getting into $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 Bitcoin, even those ETFs are going to start blowing up, right? And they make money off of these transactions, even though a lot of them have waived a lot of the transaction fees. Believe it or not, a lot of them have waived the transaction fees for the ETFs, and some of them that still do have transaction fees are like 1%. So you kind of wonder, like, how the hell are they making money? Trust me, they make money just by holding on. So if they have investors bringing in millions of dollars in their portfolio, they make money off of all of that through interest, through other, like, who knows, either loaning out the Bitcoin, whatever the case may be, or loaning out whatever the funds that they're holding on to. It's almost like a bank, right? That's why banks are free checking shit. You come, if you set up direct deposit, we'll give you $200 in your checking account. That's, a lot of them run that because at the end of the day, they want you to set up that direct deposit. They want you to hold your money in the bank so they can use your money. So they can, loan out the money at high interest, or whatever the case may be. They can, banks make purchases as far as investments as well. And what do you think they're using? They're using all their users' funds. So that's how it works. Now, market cap for Milady right now, under $50 million. We are sitting at that 48.6. Like I said, honestly, Milady does not look bad. We're still in the green for the day. We're still in the green for the 7-day, right? Everything looks great. We'll compare it with Bitcoin, and you can see blue line is Milady, orange is Bitcoin, almost in sync with each other. But I would say Milady technically is looking a little bit better, right? But I mean, you don't blame poor Bitcoin sitting here getting attacked, right? Bitcoin's getting attacked, but Bitcoin will always be the big dog in the room. So always have respect for Bitcoin, right? Now, real quick, a couple things I did want to point out real quick. So I did some investigating on Etherscan, and I was checking it out, and I was like, you know what? Let's look at some of the wallets that are holding on to onto Milady. And lo and behold, look who is the number one wallet for Milady. Crypto.com. Crypto.com has been accumulating Milady, and they're the biggest holding right now. You remember that article we looked at probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was showing us the top 10 the top 10 wallets, and Crypto.com at the time only had about $6 or $7 million worth of Milady, and you can see they've almost doubled their position on Milady, holding 180 trillion Milady at 20% of the whole circulating supply Crypto.com owns. Honestly, that's awesome, because we know Crypto.com, obviously they're setting themselves up for this bull run, one, but two, we know that they're holding on for their users so they can sell to their users, right? So it kind of it makes you feel a little better that it's not, because before, you go back 3 weeks ago, a month ago, whenever we were looking at the article, there was an unknown address that actually was holding the number one wallet, and as of now, I didn't write down the wallet's number or anything like that, but as of now, this could be the number 5 now, right? Because we have a couple wallets here that are unnamed, right? They could be just simple users that are holding on, like big whales, or these could be possibly undisclosed other exchanges that are possibly accumulating that we don't know of, with the anticipation that they might be getting a listing. Who knows, right? But we should just spread that rumor. Binance bought in, so we forced them to buy in, right? But it kind of just blew my mind that Crypto.com is the number 1 holder for Milady right now, and then obviously following Bybit at around 110 trillion with almost about a little over 12%. So Crypto.com owns almost $12 million. You have Bybit owning a little over 7.2 million. And then you have another Crypto.com wallet holding another 80 trillion, which is $5 million worth of Milady, which is nuts. So together, Crypto.com owns almost 30% of the circulating supply for Milady, that's honestly crazy. Gate.io, which usually has the most volume for transactions 24-hour, usually whenever we check, and we're going to check here in a minute, holds about 2.2 million at about 4% of the circulating supply. Huobi, about 2% at around 19 trillion. You have, let's see here, KuCoin all the way down here at only about a 1.5% at about 13 trillion, which is crazy. Gate.io has another wallet with the 1.5, so you can say Gate.io actually owns about 6%, right? No, about 5, a little over 5%. And then you have BitGet down here. Any of you guys, any of these wallets look familiar? Huh? I wonder if we have any whales amongst us. Any whales amongst us? So the actual definition of a whale for Milady is technically you have to own at least 1% or more of Milady. That's what they're considering an actual whale. So it would technically be the top 15 wallets here that are actual whales. But I don't care what you say. If someone owns $200,000 of Milady and they're owning almost 3 trillion, I mean, they're very a big sale like that could definitely we'd feel it in the charts, right? So, and look down here, Crypto.com has another wallet down here with another 3 trillion. They know something that we don't know. Crypto.com owns like 50% of circulating supply, according to Etherscan, which is nuts. Now, let's see here. Welcome, guys, everybody that's came in. I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat, but right now we have 31 people in here. Make sure you guys hit the like. We only have 17 likes. Come on, guys. Come on. ABK, if you're still in here, brother, have a great night, dude. Sleep tight, and we'll see you here tomorrow. For sure. So Troy was saying, okay, I already read that one. TJ said winter of 2025. He's predicting the bull market. Midwest was saying 50 billion from the 20 million market cap. I'm up right now, not selling. Nice. And BP was saying, let's go, Milady gang. We are live. My boy back dropping another banger. Let's go. Appreciate that, Zay. And CM was saying, 6 billion here, but I'm going to get some more. Bro, that's how it goes, man. Just got to, you got to do what you can do safely, financially, right? Get that foundation going and dollar cost average in. And that's how it should be for any projects that you guys believe in, right? Any projects that you guys believe in, because, if you would have asked me 4 weeks ago, I would have thought that, Bitcoin would have been exceeded 50 million or $50,000, right? Well, we technically, the ETF kind of did a fast one on us, right? It didn't derail this pump that we've been going through, but it kind of shook it up a little bit and gave you a little bit of extra time for any of your projects, right now that you believe in this active bull run that we're going to be in. Because when we get into this bull run, what the prices that you're seeing right now, majority of your projects, almost any project's going to be up at least 50 to 70% from where it's at right now. Most projects, when we get into a full bull run, especially something like Milady that has such a small fraction market cap, that's where you're going to see these big pumps usually, right? You're going to see these big pumps because a lot of times these projects, I remember 2021, they would drop $100 million market cap, and I mean within a week they would be at like $3 billion. Like, I mean, just out of nowhere. Projects had nothing behind it. It was just a new project or whatever the case may be. Hype gets behind the project, and it was just jump from $100 million up to multi-billion dollar projects, and we would see it time after time after time. Now, would they hold that $3 billion? Not necessarily, right? A lot of times, if they saw this crazy pump and it was fast, it would usually be short-lived. They would usually trace back towards under the billion mark, 600 or 700 million, but still would be up like crazy from just a month prior to whenever, the hype started on that project. And that's how it's going to be on a lot of your favorite projects. The bigger projects, obviously when you get up towards those 20, $40 billion market caps, it's going to take a lot more for those projects to move. So you'll usually see maybe a 1.5, 2x on a lot of those really big projects. Some of them will go crazy. And, if Bitcoin gets up to, some of these numbers that we're talking about, exceeding $100,000, you're talking about Bitcoin getting up to $3 trillion market cap, right? Right now, the whole crypto market right now, the market cap is at around 1.71 trillion. So imagine if Bitcoin is to get up to $100,000, it would need to get up to almost $2 trillion market cap. So really, Bitcoin alone would be at $2 trillion. What do you think what the altcoins are going to be at, right? The altcoins are going to be moving like crazy as well. The market cap as a full crypto would probably be somewhere around $5 or $6 trillion. And you would see, another probably three, a little bit more, maybe $4 trillion in these altcoins, and it would just go down the list, as far as these market caps. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Things are going to be moving fast when we get into this bull market. Right now is not the time to really get scared or put a pause on anything. Obviously, I don't know your financial situation, and I want to make sure you guys are making the best decisions. But from what I've learned is patience always pays off, and you got to buy in while everything is down, while everything is still not like euphoric in the market. We were almost there. We were getting there, right? It felt like that 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, but they threw water on our fire. So we have an opportunity to continue to just keep stacking up on all our favorite projects, not just Milady or Bitcoin, but all your favorite projects, because they're most likely going to multiply as we get into this bull market, whether it be a month or two down the road or, at the end of 2024, 2025, right? No matter what, as long as you have patience, it's going to pay off in the long run for yourself. So Rawls came through with the £2. I appreciate that, brother, man. Rawls, where have you been, dude? I haven't seen you in the last few days. I hope everything's okay, dude. Hope everything's all right. But I appreciate the super chat, dude. Thank you so much. Now let's see here. See if I missed anything. So TJ was saying that's where I buy Lady. And CM was saying I needs to pump heavy so I can buy all these diapers for the newborn. I've been there and done it, bro. I know, man. It's like you'll go to the store and buy like a freaking pack that has 200 diapers. You're like, I'm good. 3 days later, you're back at the store buying more. You're like, how is this possible? How is it possible? Dai was saying if Bitcoin monthly close around 42, it could get a trend reversal. Next 2 weeks is going to be very critical. I agree with that. I honestly think in these next, like you say, the next few weeks is going to be a big move. But honestly, I feel like I keep telling you guys, I feel as we keep distancing ourselves from the ETF, stuff, I feel like we're going to get back on track. Really do. I feel like we're going to get back on track. Bitcoin still has been holding well. I mean, you said it needs to at least hold 42. We have had little times, obviously, like we bounced down towards that 41.5, but we really, as of now, have been really holding. And you'll see these big drops, but they're usually short-lived, right? They're usually short-lived, and then we'll rebound. Obviously, we didn't rebound from this enormous drop right here when we topped out this local top at around 49,000. But, given the circumstances and everything that's been going on, Bitcoin and Milady have been really holding on strong. They've been looking great. So let's check out what other projects you guys want to look at. Anything going crazy as far as pumping today? Let's look. Actually, I'll hold on here. Coin market cap. Rawls with another super chat. He said, "I'm too hooked on Rocket League." G. What's Rocket League? What am I missing? Should I even ask? I don't need anything else to consume my time. What's Rocket League? So real quick, while he lets us know what Rocket League is, looking at the 24-hour for the projects for crypto, and it looks like right now top movers. This Ribbon Finance has been doing really well. It's been really sticking towards the top lately. We have Chills coming back. Is this Sue? I always forget how to say this freaking project. Is it Sue? Jumping up at 11% for the last 24 hours. Oh, Rocket League. I know what it is. That's where you're driving around in that car and you're inside the cage. Yeah, and like the cars like fly and stuff and you can hit the ball. I understand now. Any of you guys, I play Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty a lot. I'm jumping on, the new download's been pretty hectic. I finally was able to level up and get all my new guns and stuff like that, but I don't game massively, right? I don't massively gain, but if I do have, a few hours and I'm like, you get in that mode, you're like, I want to game, right? I'll turn on some Call of Duty, but I get pissed because Call of Duty it's like diehards, right? Like people play Call of Duty all day, every day, so if you take a week off of Call of Duty, I feel like when I come back, I'm so sluggish and so sloppy, and I'm getting my butt handed to. I have to sit there and play. Like, I won't start, like, actually doing good, getting, like, 15 kills per game or more until, like, my 10th game in, right? Like, an hour and a half into the game, I'm finally getting, like, smooth with it. But it's like, other than that, like, I jump in, and, like, right now, if I turn this off and jumped on the game and you guys are watching, you'd be like, bro, you're terrible. I'm really not. It's just I'm not like, it takes me a little while to kind of get back up and running, and I don't dedicate as much time, to playing Call of Duty as probably a lot of other people. So, not hating at all. I'll have to check out that Rocket League though, because I've definitely seen it plenty of times. I was kind of curious. I'm like, you're driving a car, but you're playing soccer. I wonder how that works out. But I'm waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6 to drop, dude. 2025. You guys are gonna be like, where is Crypto Fuddy? He hasn't put a video out in like a week. I'm gonna be all like, not taking a shower for like 7 days, like just freaking binging off of Grand Theft Auto 6. So let's see here. Smoking was saying Milady 4 billion easy. Is that what you're thinking? Honestly, like I said, my prediction 2 to 8, so that 4 billion falls like kind of right in the middle. So I'm gonna be right there with you and say I honestly think it won't be that difficult for Milady really to get to that price point as far as market cap. And like I've been telling everybody, one thing you never want to doubt is a meme coin that's got hype behind it. Don't ever bet against a meme coin that's got all that hype behind it, because we've seen what these things can do in the bull market, right? We've seen what these things can do easily with Shiba and Doge, particularly getting up $40 billion plus market caps. I mean, it's crazy to think of, right? And if we were having this conversation in back in 2020, we'd be like, nah, you're out of your mind, right? But we've seen it already. We actually just saw, and you could say, well, maybe that was just a one-time kind of thing, right? For, maybe it was that time, 2021, meme coins blew up, right? No, because last year, during the bear market, you guys know what I'm about to say, we saw Pepe freaking go nuts, right? Out of nowhere, Pepe went absolutely bonkers during a bear market, and you guys saw Pepe jumped up to multi-billion-dollar market cap at one point, right? We all saw that, and that should just basically reassure you that this is all going to happen. It's going to happen again when we get into this next bull market. It's but which meme coins are going to really pop off? And we've been building such a foundation with Milady, and not just we like us in this channel, but just across the crypto space, right? Just across the crypto space, with the help of Elon, obviously, and their NFTs and just other things going on, that a lot of people are not writing off Milady, right? There's a lot of other meme coins that have come in, right? Like Bunk, Sneak, Cock in You. It's just so funny to say, right? But to be honest, a lot of these projects, what's another one? Myro. You have a lot of these projects that have come into the space, that are doing really well as well, right? You're thinking, out of these 10 top meme coins, there's only going to be a few that really have that massive explosion of that, 500x kind of thing, right? Because that's literally what Shiba did, was a 500 plus x at a point of time, right? And you're which ones are going to be those, right? Well, I will say, and you guys know what I always preach, is usually when you look at a project that has just as much exposure as every one of those meme coins that I've mentioned, right, but has a fraction of a market cap as every one of those meme coins that I've mentioned, I would almost bet that the odds are in our favor as far as Milady doing probably one of the best gains, if not the best gains, when we get into this bull market, because of the sole fact of the fact that this market cap is so small still at under $50 million. Any of those projects that I've mentioned are all up there at multi-hundred million dollar market caps, if not Bunk's right there at $1 billion. It keeps teeter-tottering up above $1 billion and then, dropping down. Pepe, we'll look it up, somewhere around probably $600 million. Bunk, back down, not nothing crazy, but back down towards around $900 million. Just imagine, right now, Bunk is a 20x from where we're at right now. 20x. Myro, still relatively small, 140, 150, but this is still a 3x from where we're at right now, right? Let's look up Pepe. Pepe, 500, $500 million. Right now, this is at least a 10x from where we're at right now. So when Milady gets up to these market caps, just up to these market caps, which aren't even that big, we'll already see a 10x from where we're at right now. So that's why I'm such a big believer in saying that Milady, even if it doesn't become the absolute biggest per market cap meme coin in this bull run, the gains will probably outgain probably the top market cap meme coin, because let's say it's Bunk's already 20x above us per market cap, right? So we have so much more gains to be made as far as us getting up into this bull market. So it's all a number game, right? It's all a number game, right? When I first was buying in on a lot of crypto, I didn't look at the market caps, right? I actually looked at the price. You would look at the price, and that's another thing. You see all these zeros in front of you. You're like, hell yeah, I can put $100 and I'll have 4 billion Pepe. And I didn't even look at the market cap because I didn't have the knowledge that I do now. Nowadays, because I've been through it all, I look And, the number one thing that I'm looking at is the market cap, circulating supply, things that really actually matter, as far as what's the potential for the gains for these projects. So let's see here. Let's see here. So CM said, I hate the player that just sweats nonstop. Oh, right, bro. That's all Call of Duty is. It's just straight sweats, dude. Sweats all day. Dai was saying Cedo is a nice project. Is Cedo a new project? Let's look it up. There was a couple layer ones that I heard of today, particularly. I don't think this is gonna be it. There was a couple layer ones. Is this it, Dai? Or do I need to look into the DeFi? Oh, Deso. That's why. I'm sitting here. He's got me looking up the wrong project. Let's see here. Deso. I feel like we looked at this the other day, right? I believe we did. And I was just saying, I mean, it's probably like the same exact thing as what I'm going to say right now. Obviously, looks very bullish. A nice pump above the 200-day. Got the confirmation, bounced above the 200-day, and you can see this thing like basically took off, right? And it really hasn't cooled off much. You can see it made a local high at around just under that $50 mark, right? And you can see it's kind of cooled off, but you can kind of see it's starting to catch wind again. All the SMAs, moving averages, are all under the price action right now, and you can see it's basically just respecting, going parallel to that 20-day as it starts to climb back up. So definitely looks bullish, very, very bullish in my eyes for sure. Don't know much about the project, but just looking at the charts, this thing definitely looks bullish. As far as, let me see here. Okay, so this thing is making a bull. All-time highs are around right under $200, and you can see this thing, when it dropped down to $5, was the play right there. That was the play to jump in. But even right now, not a terrible spot, to dollar cost average in. Looking at the full chart right here, you can see the potential. These crazy pumps, it can easily jump up towards $100. But this was actually in 2022. This wasn't even, so this project came out right at the end of the bear market. If this is correct from TradingView, it came out in December 2021. That's pretty much right when we started actually coming down in the bear market. So you can see it kind of started off, had a nice little pump, but it was short-lived, and since then it's kind of just kind of not flatlined, but cooled off ever since that initial drop from the project from 2021 December. So don't know much about the project, but what I can say is, as of now, looking at just the moving averages and where the price is, this thing looks like it's finally bottomed out, and it looks like it's on a run. Possibly could see it break that $50 here soon, and then obviously you're going to have some spots, and I'll map it out just so whenever we come back, we can look to see how this plays out. $50 is going to be a spot for some resistance that it's already pretty much hit. $60 right here, you can see I'm going by all this right here previously where it kind of found some massive support. $50 is going to be your next, and then from $50, you could see a crazy where you can see how it just jumped up to $100 twice. That could be another move right there where this thing could, out of nowhere in this bull market, fly up towards this $100. So I'm going to leave these resistance and support lines right here. I'm not even going to draw any kind of fib retracements. We'll come back to this project as we move into this bull market, and let's see how this plays out. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see it tap its head on the $50 a couple times, eventually breaks, gets to the $60, kind of the same thing, maybe even chops around in between the $50, $60 as we kind of, get confirmation that the whole market's going to be getting very bullish. And then boom, this thing has some kind of an explosive move up towards $100 again. As you can see, it's happened multiple times already. So we'll leave the chart like that, and we'll come back to it. So Michael, what's going on, man? You're not late, bro. You're right on time, bro. You're right on time, bro. TJ was saying I'm 3x up on both Rocky and Myro. Just threw $50 at Bork. What's Bork? I think you mean bunk, right? Or knowing everything, there's probably a new project, Bork. Let's see. There is. Is this it? Bork? No way. Nah, bruh. It is Bork. Is this the project though, right here? I bet you if we looked it up on DeFi, it would be a little bit better. Is it a Solana? Is this on the Solana ecosystem? Bork? You guys know what I say about Solana and DeFi. This thing, yeah, okay, this is it. Solana DeFi been going crazy. It's cooled down a lot though recently. It has cooled down a lot recently, but I will say as we start getting back into and let's check out what Solana's doing as well. But as we start getting back up into these higher numbers for Bitcoin and stuff like that, see Solana's starting to retrace as far as go back up. You guys seen, we all know we made it up to about a 126, but it was kind of struggling, the last like 2 weeks where it would have these little jumps up to like 1010, right here 107, 105, but then it would be short-lived and it was kind of hovering under $100 and it tapped that $85 multiple times, right? It found some support multiple times at $85, which was great, but since you go back 5 or 6 weeks ago, like I said, you go back 5 weeks ago and someone tells you as this thing is freaking rocketing that it's going to have a cool off and it's going to be dormant for the next few weeks, you'd be like, no way, right? But I mean, that's really what's been the case for the whole crypto market, really, the whole crypto market. But like I keep saying, for Solana, same thing for Milady, where we're sitting at. Milady was a little bit more dramatic because we have a lot smaller market cap, right? So you're going to see these dramatic moves that are going to be faster up and faster down, right? Compared to a project that's at like $40 billion, right? Solana is going to have a little bit less dramatic moves because it's a little bit more stable. But that's why we're in a lot of these meme coins, because these meme coins are going to be the ones that are going to do the 100x, right? Because the market caps are so small. But what I'm getting to is even for Milady, we mapped this out the other day. Even for Milady, this blue line indicates the bottom, right? And you can see from the bottom of Milady, since we made this pump, we're still holding gains of technically 200% from the bottom on Milady, or if you want to map it out right before the pump, right? Right before the pump, I'll put it at right there, and where we're at right now, we're still holding 122% up for Milady, even after we saw this massive move up and we saw this nice cool off period. Milady is still holding strong. So imagine as we get into this next bull run, or this next bull narrative kind of market that we're going to be getting ourselves into, hopefully in these next weeks, months, whatever the case may be, we're setting ourselves up, already 120% up from where we were at right before this pump happened. And the same thing for Milady. We can map it out and you can see right here for Solana, we'll go from about the $17 mark right before it popped to where it's at right now. Solana is still holding its gains at 450% just from a few months ago. So imagine even a project like Solana, as we get into this massive bull run, this thing's already basically like a ticking time bomb ready to shoot up, and it already has a leg up from this last little pump that we just had 5 weeks ago. And this whole, what I'm getting to is Solana DeFi has been cooling off in the last few weeks, which is going to happen. DeFi is only going to pump when the actual market has already pumped, right? The actual market has to be doing great. People start looking after they have massive gains in a lot of these big projects. They start looking in to the small hidden gems, which is usually known as DeFi, right? They'll go into, whatever your favorite ecosystem is, whether it be Solana. Arbitrum is a big one that's coming up. You always have the top dog, Ethereum, Binance, and we can go down the list. There's freaking like 50 of them nowadays, right? But what I'm getting to is as the projects start pumping again, DeFi is going to come back alive. And a project like Bork, that's, not doing bad right now, but you can see it's kind of just chopping around. This thing's probably going to shoot up out of nowhere 100, 200, 300%. Just like, 5 weeks ago, everything in Solana's ecosystem was going absolutely bonkers, absolutely going crazy, right? So that's how I stand on DeFi. What I've been doing is I've been just accumulating on DeFi on my stuff and just been buying in, waiting for us to get through this next pump, because I'm telling you guys, DeFi goes crazy. You want to know about gains? Start playing with some DeFi when we get into the bull run, and you're going to see, like, within, like, you throw some money and you can throw freaking $50 in, and 30 minutes later that $50 has 10x'd on some of these projects. That's how fast it is. But it's like quick, it's quick. So, but yeah, everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. If we can hold, like I was telling you guys yesterday, same thing. And we're actually doing better than what I was saying. But I was saying as long as we can hold that 60 mark, which so far you can see these dips, other than maybe back here, we did drop right under at that 59. We've been holding the 60 mark. As long as we can hold that 60, we get into this next run, we're setting ourselves up for a big play here. Big play. So for myself, like I keep telling you guys, I've been accumulating as we've been getting towards the bottom of this channel. Recently, I haven't. In the last week, I'm itching. I haven't added anything to my bag, because really, like today, probably should have, right? I look back and I'm like, you know what? It got so close to where I was pretty much saying I was going to buy in. Should have probably jumped in, but I didn't. I didn't buy in. Still waiting to see maybe if we're going to see another flash crash. You guys never know. You guys see with headlines like this, with Grayscale moving big chunks of Bitcoin. Every other week they're selling right now their Bitcoin because of their ETF. You're going to see these little small, real quick flash crashes, right? Now, we don't know anything as far as if they're going to, if this was it, if they were just moving some of that capital over for the ETF, or if they're in anticipation of moving more. We don't know. So, but looking at some of the headlines here. Look at this. A guy just signed a contract to rent an apartment using Bitcoin. Likely the world's first. Nice. I feel like there's got to be people right now. There's football players that get paid in Bitcoin. Yo, imagine that, bro. Imagine the couple guys that are getting paid in Bitcoin. Like all last year, they were getting paid in Bitcoin while Bitcoin was down to like $20,000, and now they basically, whatever their salary was, they've already doubled. Thinking about that, because Bitcoin is literally almost pretty much tripled at some point. If it was at 15, from where we're at when it got up to like 45,000+, that's a triple. Depending on if they sold, if they were holding on and then sold at the top that we just made. That's why people will do stuff like that. They're like, just give it to me in Bitcoin, because they know giving them in dollars is nice, but if you're able to have a job where you're getting millions of dollars and then you can get it in Bitcoin, and you're already financially straight, and you can just stack up that Bitcoin and hold on to it and wait till a bull run, you'll make that $20 million salary that you're getting in Bitcoin, while it's down, could be easily $100 million, or $50 million in the next bull run, right? So Mr. Tanker said, I have 2,529 invested into Milady meme coin. How does the 3x 100x thing work? So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, let's just say you have $2,500, in Milady as of right now. So you have $2,500 at this price right now, right? And Milady goes back. Let's just say Milady jumps up and we get back up to these levels that we were just at a few weeks ago, right? You get up here, let's just say we break this high and we're at a 3x from where we're at right now, right? It would be 3 times, obviously, what you are holding currently. So if the price jumps up to 3 times where we're at right now, your portfolio might say 2,500 right now, but let's say we get up towards this 18 and that's a 3x. It would be 3 times that 2,500 would obviously would equal out to around 7,500, right? And then, the same thing, 5x, same thing. When we get up to a 5x, from what you're holding right now, when we get into this next bull run and the price is up 5 times of what it's at right now, your portfolio will be 5 times what it's at right now, right? And you can do the math there. And obviously 100x, same thing, right? When you start getting into imagine you have $2,500 and Milady does get up to 100x. 100x, technically the market cap for 100x would technically be around 6 to $7 billion from where we're at right now, right? So Milady only needs to get up to around $5 to $7 billion for us to see 100x from where we're at right now. 100x times $2,500, you're looking at what? $250,000 investment is what it would turn into. All Milady has to do is get up to around $5 billion, which is a fraction of what Doge and Shiba did in 2021 in the last bull run. So, keep that in mind. The potential for Milady, the gains is 100% there, right? It's 100% there. Like I've been telling you guys this from the get. The main things that a meme coin needs to really have that crazy explosive move is going to be hype. It's going to be hype where we start seeing it naturally happens where Milady starts making new highs. Nothing crazy, but it's having good days, making new highs. People start really recognizing Milady. They're like, oh, is this a new meme coin? Because people won't even there's people right now who don't even know anything about Milady, right? They don't even know anything about Milady. And as the price starts moving up, people start noticing. It's on, you get on your crypto.com, you get on your Coinbase, and it's the top movers, right? Top movers, people start looking into it. Wow, the market cap's only at $200 million. They start buying in, not even looking at the fact that this thing just was at $50 million market cap, 4 weeks ago or 2 months ago, right? But the hype starts building in as the price moves in, right? Starts building up. That's what starts the it's almost like a snowball effect. And as we continue to move, we have faster days where we have 50, 70, 100% pumps. People are piling in, FOMO setting in. Everybody's talking. Your YouTubers, all your big time YouTubers, they don't even want to talk about it. They have to though, right? Because everybody is super chatting them, asking them, yo, dude, what's up with Miladies? What's up with Miladies? Is Miladies going to Shiba? Is Miladies going to be the next Shiba? They're having to address it. Now, their audience of 5,000 people are like, what the hell's Milady? And that's how it goes. That's how it goes. The hype just starts building and building and building. And the project out of nowhere is at $2 or $3 billion right there out of nowhere. And that's what I saw in the last bull run for Doge and Shiba and a few other projects. And so that it's there. It can easily happen. We just have to basically set yourself up to where right now the market cap is so low that you're an early investor in buying in and adding to your bag, because when Milady gets up there, you want to capitalize on when Milady's at $5 billion, picking up that 100x or 50x or whatever the case, whatever we end up getting up to, right? And that's the same thing. That's why when someone was asking, what's an exit strategy, right? An exit strategy, you have to be ready, because like I told you guys, there's 2 different kinds of patience. There's the patience that we're going through right now, right? Where you're buying in, the project's low, with anticipation that, eventually we're going to see this thing explode, right? We have patience. Now, the next patience is going to be probably the one that's even harder. Milady is up. This scenario, Milady's up 5x, right? She's up 5x. Your $2,500 is now 12,500. Your patience is running thin now, because now your portfolio is looking really good compared to what it was a month ago. And now you're itching to hit that sell button, right? You're itching to hit that sell button, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Milady's going to $5-10 billion, and we're only at $1 billion right now. And you're itching to sell. That's going to be another form of patience that's going to be even harder, because you're going to see those gains, and then you're always going to have in the back of your mind, what if it drops? What if, or you see, we'll have days where, we're up 5x and then we have a 40% drop or something, and now you're like, oh my God, it's like, it gets stressful. It really does. It's a good stress though, right? Because at the end of the day, even if you sold at that 12,500, I wouldn't be upset with you, right? I wouldn't be upset with you, because at the end of the day, you did what you came what you did, or you came and did what you said you were gonna do, right? And you made money. Hindsight's 2020. Us predicting the top of the market is almost nearly impossible. So that's why I never will diss any of you guys if you come in to the chat and you're like, hey, I sold today and we're up, and you tell me that you made 7x or whatever the case is. I will be nothing but ecstatic for you, honestly, because that's what we're all here to do, right? We all have different goals. We all have different patient levels, right? We all have different levels where we're, some people have been through this and they're like freaking Teflon, and they're like, nope, I'm waiting until this thing gets to $8 billion. I don't care if I'm up 30,000 right now, and they will literally hold it, right? And then you have people that are like, they're newer into the game, and that $12,000 is a lot to them, which it's a lot of money, right? But that's life-changing money for them, and they want to secure that. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't be upset with it, and I'm sure a lot of us wouldn't be. So that's how it goes. But at the end of the day, I hope that we're all in those scenarios, right? I hope that we're all in those scenarios, and we're all going through those, because those are good stresses. Those are good problems to go through, right? Ah, man, I just sold and made 30 grand. I'm worried it's going to continue to move up. Like, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, it feels good. You just made all that profit. So real quick, for Etherscan, looking at right now our wallets. Let me update this, but for right now, we are currently sitting at around 17,604 wallets, right? We've kind of been dibble-dabbling. We did build up as we were moving up, and this run right here, our wallets obviously were starting to climb. And then as we started moving down, I don't know, I think we broke the 18,000 wallet mark. And then it kind of trickled out. Obviously, you had a lot of short-term investors coming in to get those short gains, which is perfectly fine, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we monitor this daily now. With this 17,600, we're going to monitor this daily, and we're going to see how this runs as we start getting closer into this bull market, and watching how the holders are going to climb as well, right? What are your predictions as far as in the bull run? So we have the market cap predictions, right? I'm saying are anywhere from around $2 to $8 billion. How many holders do you think Milady is going to have at the heyday of the bull market? What are you guys thinking? I'm thinking 125,000 holders. I'm saying 125,000 holders. At least. Frank Rambo asked me, Crypto FUD, you're selling at 5x? Hell no. I'm not selling at 5x. I'm just saying you start looking at your profile, you start looking at your portfolio, and it's hard to not hit that sell button when you're up, a massive amount. That's all I was saying. I'm in it to win it, bro. I'm in it to win it. The money that I've been putting into to Milady is there. It's there, right? I learned from my ICP. I've learned from a lot of things, but it's like us humans, we go through stuff and then it doesn't happen for a while and you kind of forget about it, right? And then you got to go through it again. Well, I went through it again with ICP. I sold early, sold at $10. Yeah, laugh at me. I laugh at Crypto FUD. Yeah, haha. I'm just kidding. But I learned. I was like, you know what? I'm sitting here preaching patience, and then I wake up one morning and my portfolio literally like 4x, and I was like, sell. And then after the fact, I was like, damn, I just sold hundreds of ICP that I was buying in at like $3. I probably will never have that opportunity again. And it kind of was like, it really set in there like, crap, So, Frank said, say it ain't so. I'm telling you, bro, I'm not, dude. Now, let's see here. Sean was saying, no matter what happens, do not let misinfo FUD get us where too strong for them. Yep, exactly. Dai was saying, I am doing 25, 25, 25, 25 once we up at 3 billion market cap, which won't be until 2025. That's why you got to respect Dai. My boy's got a plan. He's got a plan and he's sticking to it, right? That's what we all need to do. So Sean was saying XRP got a major shit brewing. Let's see. I haven't looked at good old XRP in a little while. Did XRP break 60 cents? I haven't looked at it. I'm asking. I haven't looked at it, but we're going to find out right now. So it's at 57 cents. Okay. You guys can see I have this right here. This is going to be that spot where you can see for XRP, it has literally, it's just been chopping in between where it broke down right here at this, this was that flash crash, right? Broke down at the 50 cents and it's really been just in between 50 and 60 cents. Been chopping. Honestly, I told you guys, a lot of people bought in on the hype that, XRP, once it beat its case, it was going to $5, right? Or whatever these crazy predictions were, which I'm not saying that it's not going to eventually, right? But have you guys not learned that everything with crypto it's always overhyped. It's always overhyped, and it always creates a sell the news event, right? And I think that's what happened with for XRP. You saw this massive move, it won, and then you saw the slow decrease in price action, but not only in price action, but volume as well. Volume was going absolutely bonkers back here when the ETF or the court case and all that stuff was finally settled, right? And then you can see we bottomed out around 50 cents, but we've been holding that 50 cents, which is good, which is great. We didn't go back down, to 40. Where were we trailing back here? This is way too far back. I'm sitting here looking back at like 2018. But before the ETF, or I keep saying ETF, before the court case, we were sitting, stagnant around. You can see we were breaking down. At some points, we dropped down to around 45 cents. We'd sit around 45 to 50 cents. At least now, you got all those short-term buyers that just got out. They're all upset, blah, 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 wham. They're moving over to the other projects. XRP is probably going to be moving here whenever this next bull run gets on. Now, where's it going to go? I'm not saying $5. That's a 10x. XRP has a big market cap, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing definitely does like what Cardano usually does. Sit around 50 cents, and then Cardano topped out around $3.50, which was decent. Sean said he's got 5K and XRP. Nice. That's awesome. I think long run, dude, long term, that's going to pay off. One thing I am looking at now is you guys broke your 200-day moving average. You broke your 200-day moving average. Not like that's, it's going to fold or anything like that. But for right now, until we can really, I think until this bull market really can get moving, XRP has been put on the back burner because of a lot of other projects. A lot of people, like I said, just were anticipating, the XRP was going to go up like to these crazy numbers after the right after the case was done, and that wasn't really what happened. You saw a nice move, but it bounced right back to reality, right? Just like everything else, just like what Bitcoin's kind of going through right now. But long term, XRP, 100% XRP will break $1. There's no question about that. So at least you'll always 2x your money probably where you're from or where you're at right now as far as your price. So Dai said, I am 10K in already and 10K more slowly given or slowly every time it dips. You're talking about for XRP, Dai? That's awesome. And then they're also claiming that there's XRP is going to have an ETF, which, I wouldn't be surprised. But let me ask you this, Sean. After seeing everything that Bitcoin's going through right now after the ETF, do you think that's a good thing for XRP? I'm honestly asking. Do you think that's a good thing for any crypto project? Ethereum. Do you think it's a good thing for Ethereum to get its own ETF? I'm honestly asking you guys. I mean, me personally, after everything, like I've been telling you guys, I think long term it's going to be great for Bitcoin. Short term, it kind of derailed us from us moving, our price action and stuff like that. And then you see, like we saw, that the headline of Grayscale selling 11,000 Bitcoin in the last 7 days because of the ETF. You can bring in stuff I think that people don't calculate as far as when that ETF gets approved. Everybody just thinks, oh, ETFs got approved, it's going to just funnel in massive money. We're on our way to the moon now. No, there's no way. There's no turning back. Well, you guys see exactly what Bitcoin's going through now. Now it's having to fight through all that crap with the ETF, and it's gonna prevail, right? But it's having to go through all this crap. So let's check out. Nice. We got 30 likes. Good job. Good job. So let's just do a recap, guys. Let's do a recap. What do we got? Oh, real quick. You guys see the game last night? You guys watched the game last night? Tampa Bay and the Eagles? We're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Just kidding. Now, we did good last night. I was up late watching that game. I told you guys, I go to the gym at 5 in the morning. I was like, it was 11 o'clock. I'm watching the game. I was like, this is so past my bedtime. Can't stop watching, though. So, for Milady particularly, almost the same thing I was telling you guys yesterday for myself, right? I'm just going to be monitoring Milady. If we do see another dip like this, I'm going to take advantage of it. I was hoping and praying that maybe we could see a flash crash real quick towards maybe dipping right below the 6, right? I'm looking for anything that's going to be under or down on the bottom of this channel. If we don't see it, it is what it is. I missed an opportunity today for me to buy in at this dip. I won't make that mistake again. So I'm looking at anything as far as just anything under now the 62. Anything below the 62, I'm going to start adding to my bag. That's going to be some kind of a accumulation zone for myself. So you guys look out for that. But for right now, we're sitting at 66. Milady's been looking great, honestly. It's been looking good. Hopefully, we can see Bitcoin. Hopefully, we can see Bitcoin really start making a move up. Getting past everything that we've been talking about through the whole stream and seeing us get back towards these numbers of around 44, 45,000. If we can at least get back up to there, I wouldn't be surprised as a lot of the altcoins will follow, eventually, and we'll start getting back up to these higher numbers, obviously for the alts as well. So, but it's all gonna come in due time. Like I keep saying to you guys, bring on the dips. I got my chips ready. And I'm ready to just keep accumulating because at the end of the day, we know what we're holding. We know what the game plan is. And we know where Milady is headed. We know where Milady's headed, right? So, we know it. We know it. Dai came through with the $10. I appreciate that. You're doing good things for Milady. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Frank, come on, man. You got to do the burrito emoji, dude. I already ate dinner. And you got to bring up a burrito right now? I can eat a burrito at any time, dude. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I don't care. In the middle of the night, if someone had a fresh burrito, I could literally slam one. Dai, thank you so much for the 10 bones, dude. I appreciate that, brother. I wouldn't be here without people like you guys. Honestly, I appreciate the support every day that you guys bring to the channel. Every day of the channel. And like I keep telling you guys, we're doing big things. We're doing big things. I hope that we keep bringing in new people that are coming into the space, you know, because after we're done with this, say hello, because there's always hundreds of people that follow behind us as, you know, the night goes on. Tomorrow, you know, they'll rewatch the stream, and I hope that they take what we're saying and they understand, you know, the potential that this project has, because this thing is going to make some big moves. I don't doubt it whatsoever. So definitely big things ahead of us for sure. So let's see here. Sean, like I was telling you guys, as far as for Coinbase and Binance, I truly believe as we start moving in and what Binance and I guarantee Binance and Coinbase, the one thing that they're really looking for as a project is volume, right? Because they make money off of transactions. Let Milady naturally build itself up. Let us get up, you know, to where right now volume days are low. We're only at around $4 million. Obviously, today's a lower day. We've seen, you know, $15-20 million days for volume, but we need to steadily see those 20, 30, 40, $50 million days of just volume, right? That's when you're going to attract Coinbase, Binance, and all them. They're going to want to list, you know, this meme coin onto their platform because they see all the volume. They want a piece of those transactions because that's how they're making their money. Right now, Binance and Coinbase, they 100% already know about Milady, obviously, right? And it's probably honestly one of those projects that they're waiting until it can check all the boxes. Like I tell you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not even necessarily the market cap, but the volume is really what they're worried about. They want to see volume probably get to a certain level, and then they're going to start listing these projects. So, but at that time, when they list the projects, we're already invested in, right? We already have our bags loaded. We're continuing to add. So that would just be more of a catalyst for Milady, right? And all this is going to come, guys. All this is going to come. When we get listed on Binance, be ready. We're having a freaking party in here. Someone the other day said I should have music in the background. We're going to have freaking music, right? I'm going to put my camera on and I'm going to be up here with the bottle of champagne, right? Something like that. I'm going to bust open the eggnog. No, I can't do that for a while. I cannot do that for a while. And like I said, we're going to monitor these holders. 17,600 right now. We'll check it out tomorrow and see exactly what's going on. Remember, we were looking yesterday. So volume for Ethereum's gone up 24 hours for the DeFi 1 billion. Binance 500 million. Solana's down to 400. Arbitrum's doing better than Solana. Telling you guys, Arbitrum's going to be a big project. I really do believe Arbitrum's going to be a big project. Somebody in here was telling me that they bought in. Remember, I forgot who it was. Arbitrum was talking, or they were talking about they bought in on Arbitrum. It was like $1 something. That's a good move. Chart looks juicy. Looks juicy. So let's see here. Sean said, go to Crypto Bubbles. Let's check it out. I rarely check it. Let's see what's popping. Literally. Chills is doing good today. Beam's been doing good. You guys know about Beam? I believe Beam is a big game. Game for games for crypto, right? If I'm not mistaken. I heard somebody talking about that the other day. I heard Pulse Chain has been going crazy as well. Let's see here. Soul wants to say, what's your thoughts on Access protocol? We'll check it out real quick. Whoever bought into Arbitrum, mad respect, man. I'm actually, if Arbitrum can get some kind of a pullback, I would love to buy in. You know, when Arbitrum dropped, it was at $1, and I was like sitting here like, should I buy in? And the market cap was a little bit more than what I wanted, and it was only at like $200 million. And I was like, I'm gonna wait, and I never bought in. And now it's like, you know, I wouldn't doubt that the thing gets up to $3 here soon. So let's see here. This project looks good, bro. Look at this bounce off of the 200A. You can see this thing has been definitely respecting the 200A right here. Right when it dropped onto this 200A was a solid buy right here, obviously for some quick short term. Look at this buy. I mean, I guess 20%. I thought it was going to be something crazy, but still a solid buy. I wouldn't be surprised though, as this gigapump might pump up. You know, you might see some better price action, right? Continuing to move up, but I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of retraces, you know, and maybe does some more of a bounce again towards this 200-day moving average right here. So I would, you know, I don't know if you're already bought in on it right now. You know, I would like I always tell you guys, patience. Depending on where you bought, you know, I would be waiting to see maybe if I should just capitalize off this 20% gain and then wait for some kind of a move towards it, because you can see recently this thing has been like kind of hovering above its 200-day. Obviously looking bullish as it's bouncing above the 200-day, but what I'm saying is if you can capitalize on these big moves, you could be just adding more to your bag every time you sell and then buy back in at around the 200-day SMA, or not even, this is the 200-day actual moving average at around that 23 mark. So Sean said, last night I saw Flare running something to do with Google. Didn't hear about it. Michael saying, we're in the altcoin season. Well, just the beginning. It's altcoin index. It was at 78, but now it's at 76 now. All right. Dai came and said, we're not in altcoin season yet. I believe it. I mean, maybe what he's saying is maybe he's saying like this is like the first stages of it. Honestly, possibly could. We really wouldn't know until we look back. We wouldn't know until we look back, you know, 6 months from now, like if we're like, you know, maybe we're massive pump at that time, we could say, yeah, this was the beginning of altcoin season, right? But what Dai's saying is obviously we're nowhere inside an altcoin season yet, because you guys will know when we're in altcoin season. All your favorite projects are going to be going absolutely insane, right? I mean, any project that you can think of will be at least a 2x from where it's at right now. That's altcoin season. And then the top players will be like Milady up 20x, you know, like these massive moves. So I agree with both of you guys, honestly. Like I said, we really won't know until, you know, we look back, you know, maybe in the future from like 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, maybe even 2 months from now, who knows. Cello. That's another project I think we've looked at a couple times. You know what's crazy is a lot of these projects, not all of them, but a lot of these projects kind of look exactly like this chart right here. You know, they back around this one was in November, but yeah, back November, December that we just got out of, broke its 200-day. You know, maybe retested it once or twice, but eventually found a spot where it just broke out. This hasn't seen a massive breakout, right? But you can see a lot of the projects all look kind of like this, where they're sitting above their 200-day. They're not massively above its 200-day, like, you know, like hundreds of percents. They're usually hovering 20, 30, 40% above the 200-day moving average, which this one's about 40%, right? And this is what I've been telling you guys. A project like this, right? You see the double top, right? You can see it's been finding support somewhere around this 62 cent, somewhere around there. For this project, let's say I'm bullish on this project. I would, like I keep telling you guys, have patience. Always have patience, because it'll pay off and you might be able to find a better price. Right now it's at the 75. You might be able to see at least sub 70s, like around 70 to 65 cents, where you can, dollar cost average in, or if you're sitting on the sidelines, buy in on the project, because a project like this hasn't seen explosive moves yet, right? It's giving you the signs that it's bullish above its 200-day moving average, but you haven't seen an explosive move yet. And that's what Dai was pretty much saying. That's how you know we're definitely not in, like, we're not in a full-blown, altcoin season or anything like that. This could be the very, very, the beginning of an altcoin season, and we don't even know it yet, right? So this could be an ample opportunity to look for these projects and just jump in on a lot of your favorite projects, right? Pretty much what I'm getting to, because like this project right here, like I keep telling you guys, all look pretty similar. Some of them have seen massive explosions, like Solana. They broke their 200-day. They're up freaking 400% from above their 200-day moving average, right? But you have projects like this that are only hovering 20 or 30 or 40% above their 200-day, haven't seen those massive moves yet, which is going to happen, right? It's probably going to happen for most of these projects. So even dollar cost averaging where it's at right now, not even having patience, but just dollar cost averaging in will most likely pay off in the long run, for sure. So is this not the right seller or cello? Dai, have you seen, remember me and you were talking about this, Bitcoin dominance. Remember, Bitcoin dominance was at like 54% right before the ETF, and look, we're at 49.7. We were a little bit lower earlier, but we're at 49.7. I wouldn't be surprised. Altcoin season, probably Bitcoin's going to be above $55,000, $60,000. Has to be, but you're going to see Bitcoin's dominance probably 47, 48%, right? That's when you're going to know we're most likely alts are about to start freaking ripping. Most likely. That's probably that's what it's going to be, most likely. Fear and greed. Looking at it, you guys can see last week we were at 76 and we've dropped down to 61, which tells me we're getting back into those stages where not bad to buy and keep dollar cost averaging in. Remember, we're buying in when everybody's scared. And when that greed starts shooting up, obviously we got to wait for the perfect time, but when that greed is up and your grandmother's asking you what the hell Milady is, it's probably a big sign. You're like, all right, we're at the top. We're getting close to it. We're getting close to it. Are you guys talking about algorithm? What's going on here? I'm missing everything in the chat here. This is algorithm, right? Or I know I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, but this thing has been ripping too. Clean bounce above the 200-day. Look at these massive spikes too. Look at this one right here. Bounced off this 200-day, 160% move, right? And you can see it's been just like, as it's slowly moving up, it's having these like massive spikes. That's very bullish. This thing's running great. What is it at? $1.36? Wow, this thing was down to like 20 cents at a time. This project looks great. It's just slow and steadily moving up with these massive spikes in between. That's what I was saying for, I forgot what project we were talking about a little while ago, and that's what I was saying. Some of these massive spikes, I'm not saying sell off on your position, but if you're able to take advantage and find these at the right position, and you can capitalize off these 100% moves, you just doubled your position if you can sell off and then buy back in after it retraces, right? You just doubled your position without having to add any extra liquidity. You're just basically using the same liquidity, but you just keep doubling your position. So you're saying at 48 for the Bitcoin dominance is pretty high for altcoin. I guess one thing I will say is last time we were in altcoin season, I don't remember what Bitcoin dominance was at that time. You know, I don't remember what it was at the time during the altcoin season. I'm sure we can look. We can find out. So Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin being the blue. I just wish that they would give me like a chart like this for the dominance, so we could see 38.8 in August. Okay, so damn, so Bitcoin dominance drops that low during altcoin season. Holy crap! I mean, that makes sense. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of like mind-boggling that Bitcoin will be at a high, right? But the dominance will be at, will be relatively low. That's just, it's crazy to even think. Like, you're like, how the hell is that possible, right? That's why I was thinking, I was like, 48 maybe, or not 48. Did I say 48? Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wait, 48? Because we're at 49 right now. So, friggin', yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like 38%. Yeah, like 10% of the total market cap of the crypto market would move into alts, which would be about, let's see here, $160 billion. Technically, as of right now, would be about 10% of the market cap right now. But we're also talking, when we're up to $2-3 trillion, probably 10% off of that will probably be around $300 to $400 billion. That would probably move from Bitcoin into your favorite alts. So I mean, that makes sense. $400 billion goes into strictly alts. That would be a massive skyrocket for most of your alts. Jasmy, I swear every day we always Jasmy's got a big community, because that's like one of the projects that everybody always asks about. Same thing about Jasmy, dude. One thing I will say is Jasmy's got the exposure. Definitely has the exposure, and it's above its 200A, but hasn't seen this massive explosion, right? So right now wouldn't be a bad spot to be just continuing to dollar cost average in right now for Jasmy, because you can see this thing has not seen an explosive move. It has seen a nice move from when it bottomed out right here, but you haven't seen where, like you look at something like, I go back to like Milady, and you see this massive move up, right? You see this massive move up, and this happened for like Milady, Solana, ICP, a lot of projects, but projects like Jasmy didn't see that explosive move yet. So where it's at right now, not a bad spot to dollar cost average in. And you're probably like, well, what about, you're saying dollar cost average in for Milady? Yeah, because we saw this massive move, and then we've seen a massive cool off also. That's why I'm saying we're also given an opportunity to where we're able to continue to add in right now, because we saw the potential of what Milady's going to do in this next bull run, right? We just saw a small dose of it, and now we're getting blessed to have an opportunity to basically, it's paused right now, and it's like, all right, you guys take your time, add to your bags, let us know whenever you're ready, right? It's pretty much what Milady in the market's doing for us. So something like Jasmy, same thing, just a perfect opportunity in my eyes to really just continue to dollar cost average in. You can see this thing has really just been curling up. Wouldn't be surprised if it's eventually going to make a nice move here soon. Let me see, fib retracement. So you can see right now, it's kind of hard with this chart. 0.5 right here is the green. 618 is going to be the darker green right here. You can see it's bounced out off the 618 almost twice, right? So it's found some support at the 618, which is going to be at the 46 mark. Right now it's at the 54. if I was to, if I'm looking at Jasmy and I'm looking to add to my bag, or if I'm sitting on the sidelines looking to buy in, I'm obviously going to start watching this 0.5 at around the 52, which is pretty much right above it right now. Anything below that 52, that 0.5 is a buy. That's a buy zone right there. Anything below that 0.5 and the 618 is a go. That's a buy right there. So anything under the 52 and then bouncing at around that 46 is a perfect buy zone in my eyes for Jasmy as of right now, giving you that perfect opportunity to continue to add to your bag before we start seeing these big explosive moves. Nice, Mike. I appreciate you coming with the quick data. I appreciate that. But yeah, just to recap, guys, everything's good. We're good to go. Like I keep telling you guys, I'm going to just keep watching. Obviously, all of us are watching the markets, the charts. That's what we do, right? It's part of our life now, being crypto fanatics. But I wouldn't have it any other way, right? Wouldn't have it any other way. This is a good habit to be involved in, right? Good habit. So Dai said, Jasmy, the problem is it dropped so low. So many people scared of Jasmy. Jasmy's kind of like Luna's. See, and that's one thing. I'm looking at charts. You guys know a little bit more in detail. Like, I can get into detail about ICP, Fetch, a lot of these other projects that I heavily invested in, or I was heavily. Jasmy, I never really was invested in, so I didn't really do the due diligence as far as on the back end what's going on with the actual project. I'm looking at the charts, and they don't look bad, right? They don't look bad, but what he's saying is people are scared of Jasmy for whatever reason, and that might be the reason why we never saw this big explosion of a move like a lot of these other altcoins did 4 or 5 weeks ago. That might be why. Doesn't mean in the bull run that this isn't going to see some nice gains, but is it going to see the gains of some of these other projects, right? Who knows? That I don't know, because I don't know what's going on with the actual project and the back end. Who knows? There could be, not saying for Jasmy, but I'm saying for any projects, the dev team, the fundamentals, is it getting hacked? There's always all these other things besides the charts that it's good to know if you're going to be invested in some of these projects, right? You want to know all those ins and outs before you really jump in on a project. Now, if you're day trading, necessarily don't really need to know any of that stuff, because if you're day trading, you're just jumping in and out of the project. You're not really holding long term, right? You're really just looking at charts. When's a good buy-in? When's a good sell? So Vincent came in. Let's see here. Gecko. Let's check it out. That doesn't look like the right one. Is this the right project? See something here. Yeah, I believe this is still the same project. So Gecko, it's like I'm looking, they kind of look different. I'm looking at the DeFi and looking at trading view. Well, if this is the project Gecko, because we've looked at it before. Let me see if I can put in. I thought I had a chart already saved for Gecko. Yeah, this is it right here. I could have sworn I had a chart drawn up about it, because we've looked at it before. Well, if this is the project right here, Gecko. It's at 53. Let me check this No, because this one says it's at 14. Which one is it, Vincent? Oh, that's not it. I'm waiting for Vincent's reply. If this is the project right here, I mean, looks like it's, fairly new project. Just came out in May. Nothing crazy. Yeah, it's at the 15. So this is it right here. All right. The reason why I was so questionable is because I could have sworn that I drew like a fib retracement for this project. I don't know what the hell happened there, but let's do it again. I'm sure I'll have to do it another time. Can't see with this. So I mean, with this project, obviously with this smart chart, I still feel like with these charts right here, it's kind of a fairly new project, still kind of finding out where it's going to find support. You see these big giga pumps right here. Right here, it jumped up towards the drop to zero, went up to this 12 mark. Crazy move right there, right? And you can see since then it's kind of been just retracing. Nothing crazy. Did make another nice little giga pump right here, and I'm sure if we map it out, it's probably, excuse me, it's not even going to give me it. But you can see nice moves. Honestly, from where it looks right now, doesn't look crazy, doesn't look bearish or anything like that. But if I was waiting to buy in on this project, you can see anything under the 618 would probably be a solid spot for some solid buys. I would just be very cautious because you can see it made that pump and it's only about halfway down, right? It's not like it made that pump and then dropped back down. So you never know with this project. Me personally, not knowing anything about it and having a very small chart, I would just say be very cautious. Be very cautious with this project. You can see it's hit its head at the 0.5 at around the 62 mark. So if you are able to get opportunity to where it bounces under the 618, possibly a good buy zone, and then maybe run these spikes, sell at the spikes at these little giga pumps, and maybe do it all over again, right? Could easily double your project or double your holdings if that's what you're looking for, or make some quick money off of a project like this. But as far as like any additional TA for this project, I wish I could give you more, but this thing is just a weird chart, right? You can see it really hasn't found much support other than really where it's at. The 618, it bounced, kind of hovered around the 618. That's why I say anything under the 618 would be a solid buy in my eyes. Looking for a quick turnaround, maybe some kind of a nice giga pump up towards the 0.5, or you never know, it could make another run up past the 0.5 at the 382 or the 236. But I'd be looking for a quick pump and then jumping out and maybe repositioning myself as far as for Gecko. But do not know exactly. You guys can fill me in. A project like this, I'm unfamiliar. This thing could be the next hidden gem, right? You guys could be buying in at a fraction of the price, possibly. In the next year, this thing could be at like $1 billion market cap. So who knows? So guys, just a real recap, because I am going to be getting going. Right now we're sitting at the 66, looking for some bottom moves somewhere anywhere under the 62 for Milady. I have patience. I'm not crazy. I have a solid bag. So if we can drop anything under that 62, 61 mark, I'm just going to keep dollar cost averaging in. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do for Milady. Right now, Bitcoin's been holding that 43. I think as we start moving in towards this next week, we're going to start seeing us start moving up. Maybe a slow move, but we are going to start moving towards the right direction, as long as we don't see any more big sales like we saw today for Grayscale selling 9,000 Bitcoin today alone. That's what spooked the markets today. Definitely spooked the markets, but we are holding very well at around $43,000. So we'll have to see how it goes. But at the end of the day, everything's looking good for crypto. We're just going through a little small hiccup because of that ETF, but we are going to get past it, no doubt in my mind. So just keep dollar cost averaging in on your favorite projects, whether it be Gecko, Milady, Jasmine, all these projects, all are going to see some big potential. But which project's going to be the big movers in this next bull run? And you guys know, I always believe that Milady particularly is going to be one of the bigger movers, just because of the fact that it's going to have that hype behind it, and the market cap is so small. The potential is going to be so big for this project. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I thank each one of you guys for coming in today and enjoying us tonight as we looked at all these projects. We'll be back here tomorrow around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe and hit that like on the way out if you haven't already, all right? Thank you guys so much. Have a great, safe night. And I'll